Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Flashback Comics. Troy David Phillips here, store manager at Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia. Today, I'm going to tackle some FAQs, frequently asked questions. These questions have appeared on our YouTube channel. People will post them in the comment section. If you'd like your questions asked, then please post them in the comments, and I will review these things with my producer, Matthew James, and we will answer these questions on air for you. Matt is going to throw some of the questions my way that have been coming up that I might have overlooked. So, deep breath, relax in your easy chair, and here we go.
All right, Troy, first big question from the comment section is why the big two seem to restart their continuity every few years?
Okay, that is actually a good, broad, tough question. Why? Well, undoubtedly, someone thinks it's a good idea sales-wise. Other than that, there are times when you reach a kind of muddied point in your continuity, when your stories have gone on for so long and you need to reinvigorate them somehow. You need to restart a storyline because it's gotten stale, or because some new information or new storyline has come along that may not quite actually fit, and then you also have new creators coming on board. Characters that have been running for 7 decades sometimes find new voices with new creators, and those creators want to break away from what has been done before. Whoever is currently handling Superman might not want to be beholden to Jack Kirby and Kurt Swan and so on, all the way back to 1938. They may have a different take on the character, and they need the creative freedom to do that. In other cases, for example, Marvel does not actually restart their continuity. They own all of the continuity, but what they have found is that it is necessary to move storylines forward in time progressively to keep them relevant. Remember that some of these characters, like the Fantastic Four, begin in the Cold War era, in the space race with Russia. Iron Man was originally wounded in the Vietnam War. And the Incredible Hulk comes from the bomb scare of the 1950s and 1960s made manifest. So you want to keep the roots of the characters, but you do need to move them out of the historical periods that might otherwise make them dated or may make the characters unworkably old. So those are a couple of simple reasons to an otherwise very complex question.
Okay, who are the current Green Lanterns?
Okay. There is a Green Lantern Corps, so the current Green Lanterns, there are plenty. There is still Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan is in the pages of his own book, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, where you will also find Guy Gardner and John Stewart, as well as Kilowog and the other extraterrestrial characters that comprise the Green Lantern Corps. In the other book, however, I hesitate to call it the main book, in the other book, Green Lanterns, plural, you will find Simon Baz, the character of Middle Eastern origins, and his new partner, Jessica Cruz. You may remember Jessica inherited the power ring from Power Ring of the Crime Syndicate during Forever Evil. That ring has been destroyed, but she has inherited an official Green Lantern ring. Jessica Cruz is a character who is overcoming some agoraphobia and other anxiety issues, and so she is finding her willpower and surmounting her fears and her anxieties, and she has very recently been able to form the kinds of constructs that she was hoping to form, realizing herself as a Green Lantern. So the short answer to your question is a whole lot of people, but those are the key characters at the moment.
What is one comic book that you have to be reading right now?
Okay, the answer to that question is I read 140 titles a month, but one of the books that I read just in the last week that really surprised me was actually Red Hood and the Outlaws. I was reading the book previously when it was Red Hood and Arsenal, and prior to that in the New 52 when it was Red Hood and the Outlaws. Red Hood himself and Roy Harper, aka Red Arrow, and Starfire. You might remember Starfire from pre-52 continuity where she was attached to the Titans. This current series is giving me a lot of Jason Todd. Jason Todd is working with Batman. He's sort of off the books, infiltrating criminal organizations by seemingly being a criminal himself. And we've introduced him to another character. This one is an Amazon. Her name is Artemis. She is tough as nails. She wields a battle axe. And her interactions with Jason were entertaining in a way that I hadn't foreseen. So, as much as I am loving a lot of books from DC's Rebirth, Red Hood and the Outlaws surprised me with how good it is.